Hello everyone, I'm Aratrika Bhaumik and I welcome you all to another episode of Courts Today on LiveLaw, where we update you about all the important legal developments that took place across the country today. We will begin with developments from the Supreme Court and then cover High Courts and other lower courts. The Supreme Court has directed the registry to list the petitions seeking to declare virtual court hearing as a fundamental right before the bench headed by Justice D.Y. Chandrachud. The pleas were mentioned before the bench of Chief Justice of India N.V. Ramana, Justices Krishna Murari and Hema Kohli, seeking urgent listing of the same. Considering that Justice L.N. Rao, who was earlier hearing the pleas, had retired, the CJI directed to list the petitions before a bench presided by Justice Chandrachud. The Supreme Court today dismissed a batch of petitions filed by various private tour operators seeking exemption from the goods and services tax for the Hajj and Umrah services offered by them to pilgrims travelling to Saudi Arabia. A bench of Justices A.M. Khanwilkar, A.S. Oka and C.T. Ravikumar pronounced the judgment. Justice Oka said that the argument raised by the petitioners regarding extraterritorial application of GST for services given outside India is kept open as it is pending consideration before another bench. The tour operators were challenging the levy of GST on Hajis who avail themselves of services offered by registered private tour operators on the ground that no tax law can be applicable on extraterritorial activities as per Article 245 of the Constitution. The Supreme Court today agreed to list on August 1st the application filed by Uddhav Thackeray-led faction of Shiv Sena against the proceedings initiated by the Election Commission of India on request made by the Eknath Shinde-led faction for their recognition as the real Shiv Sena and their claim over the party's election symbol, the bow and the arrow. A bench led by the Chief Justice of India agreed to tag the application along with other petitions filed in relation to the Shiv Sena crisis, which are listed on August 1st. A plea has been filed in the Supreme Court seeking for permanent hearing of cases pending in the Allahabad High Court pertaining to Western UP through hybrid mode. The plea has also sought for establishing dedicated filing counter and virtual hearing setup in District and Sessions Court of Western UP for hearing cases through hybrid mode in Allahabad High Court. It has been argued in the petition that absence of permanent bench in Western UP is denial of access of justice to the people of Western UP, and both lawyers and litigants find it difficult to travel more than 700 kilometers. Today, the Supreme Court asked the central government to take a stand on the need to control the announcement of freebies by political parties during election campaigns. The court also asked why the centre is hesitating to take a stand on this issue. Terming it a serious issue, the bench of Chief Justice of India N.V. Ramana, Justices Krishna Murari and Hema Kohli also asked the centre to consider whether the suggestions of the Finance Commission can be sought for solutions. Supreme Court Bar Association President and Senior Advocate Vikas Singh has addressed a letter to Supreme Court's Registrar to exclude NDA's Vice Presidential candidate and Senior Advocate Jagdeep Dhankar's name from the Lawyers' Chamber allotment list. When the list of Supreme Court lawyers who have been allotted chambers was published last week, the name of Dhankar, who used to practice at the Supreme Court before his appointment as the Governor of West Bengal, featured in the list. The chamber allotment at the Supreme Court is done by a committee of 3 judges. The allotments are finalized often years after the applications are made. The Supreme Court today adjourned an application filed by Senior Advocate Indira Jaisingh challenging the process adopted by certain high courts to confer senior designations through the process of secret voting of the full court to September 2nd. Jaisingh's application argued that the process of secret voting is arbitrary and discriminatory before a bench of Justices U.U. Lalit, Ravinder Bhatt and Sudhashnu Dhulia. Jaisingh today sought to detag her application from other petitions which challenged the senior designations conferred by certain high courts. The Karnataka High Court today issued notice to the central government on a plea by Twitter challenging blocking orders issued by the Union Ministry of Electronics and Information Technology. Justice Krishna S. Dikshit posted the matter for further hearing on August 25th and also allowed Twitter to place all the blocking orders before the court in a sealed cover. Pertinently, the Government Council today requested the court to conduct in-camera proceedings, that is, private court proceedings. To this, Justice Dikshit orally remarked that he would consider the request. The Allahabad High Court today refused to grant bail to Union Minister Ajay Mishra's son Ashish Mishra, the main accused in the Lakhimpur Kheri violence case in which 4 farmers and a journalist were killed in October last year after being allegedly mowed down by Mishra's vehicle during a protest against the now repealed farm laws. Taking into consideration the complicity of Mishra, the apprehension of witnesses being influenced and the gravity of the accusations, without expressing any opinion on the merits of the case, Justice Krishan Pahal denied the bail plea. Pertinently, the High Court added a word of caution for the media as it noted that nowadays the media is conducting ill-informed and agenda-driven debates and is seen overstepping the sanctity of the judiciary, especially in high-profile criminal cases. The Enforcement Directorate probing a money laundering case against Aam Aadmi Party Minister Satyendra Jain has moved the Delhi High Court seeking his medical evaluation from an independent hospital instead of Lok Nayak Jai Prakash Hospital, which is directly under the control of the Delhi government, alleging a likelihood of bias in the medical report. Jain, who is presently in judicial custody in the case, had moved an interim bail application on medical grounds before the trial court on July 10th. He was later admitted to the city's Lok Nayak Jai Prakash Hospital on July 15th. Punjab's Advocate General Anmol Ratan Singh Sidhu has tendered his resignation. In a letter written to Chief Minister of Punjab, Bhagwant Singh Mann, Mr. Sidhu cited personal reasons behind the decision to resign from the post. He was appointed the Advocate General for Punjab in March this year. Sindhu has been Punjab and Haryana High Court's Bar Association's president at least 5 times, and he has also served as the chairperson of the Bar Council of Punjab and Haryana. United Against Hate member Khalid Saifi, presently under judicial custody in a larger conspiracy case into the 2020 Delhi riots, has moved the city court seeking urgent relief of medical treatment after falling sick inside the jail. Saifi has moved an application before Additional Sessions Judge Amitav Rawat for medical tests and treatment. The court was informed that Saifi was having high fever, high sugar and diarrhea, and thus medical reports should be called for urgently. Accordingly, the court called for medical report while posting the matter for hearing on July 27th. Thank you. Keep watching Courts Today for more such updates. If you like our content, please don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel.